Hey, just a little thing. This is editor Jacob here. Do not watch this if you are wanting to watch the series called Castlevania, because I do not hold my tongue. This is me basically talking about it. So again, if you are watching the series or talking about it, I spoil so much. So again, just fair warning. Major spoilers coming up if you continue watching this. Hey, hi, hello everybody. We are in video 10. This is the weirdest hat that I could find, and today I want to talk about the whole debate thing of Invincible Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, if you don't know about this, it's basically saying of how is Invincible has such a good storyline but terrible animation, while Jujutsu Kaisen has still a good storyline but just not as good as Invincible, but yet so much better animation. And then we all found out that Invincible takes out 2.5 million per episode. But they only have 4 animators. Jujutsu Kaisen is made by Mappa, which I mean, it's not made by 4 people, but it's not as good. They get treated horribly, at least from what I've heard. Haven't heard an update or anything like that. But for Jujutsu Kaisen, it's 120,000 to 160,000 per episode. And comparably, it's like, yeah. Now, Castlevania doesn't have mappa type animation, but the animation of it is still so good. It is just amazing. It doesn't feel cartoony, but it doesn't feel real. It's that perfect middle that we want. Because, like, I gotta say, Yuji looks too cartoonish because of how they do it. Now, I'm not saying that I'm gonna stop watching the series, but again, that's just me. But I still love it. Again, look, Funkos. That's Deku, Big All Might, Small All Might, Shoto, and that's Kirishima in his unbreakable form, which is my girlfriend had this first, and I begged her for one. And then my birthday, she got me one just for me to stop begging her for one because Kirishima is my favorite character, like character design wise. I I love him so much. Okay, but Castlevania also has the best fighting style animation that I have ever seen. The difference between Ninja Kamui and Castlevania, besides the storyline, is that Ninja Kamui is only one season. Or at least there's only maybe one season. There might be a second season in the future. I don't know, but so far, it's really only supposed to be this one season type of thing, because the revenge was short and successful, or something like that. Castlevania is 4 seasons plus 2 more seasons for a side episode. And the main characters for both series has a whip. Imagine animating a whip from the amount of choreography that this show has. I am talking, it is just like, I don't know what exactly type of fighting it is, but it is just so beautifully contributed. They are also actually smart on how they do it. For most people, I feel like it's how they fight in Arcane. You see them actually doing some combos and stuff like that. But again, it's still only 2 seasons, and it's always more like street fighting and stuff like that. Here, it's actually professional fighting. But if I could give most people who've seen this show a reference, I would feel like it would be Vi versus what's Savika. That kind of, like, when they had their bar fight, it kind of feels like that, but just a lot more professional. And then we also have like magic users, and oh my god, the monsters is just amazing. You get to see a dragon throw hands with a vampire. I am not fucking with you. It is very short, but you can still see the dragon standing on, instead of four legs, on his both legs and swinging, and her just dodging and stuff like that. But it still was just like they didn't need to do that. But then afterwards, the dragon like lifted her up in the air, caught her with the jaw. The main character was with his whip wrapped around her foot and was trying to basically be a weight so they could tear off her arm. This dragon and him never seen each other other than for this fight. The dragon is controlled by his best friend. It's just how her magic works. But still, they knew exactly what they were going to do. In the Castlevania, the first series, Trevor Belmont kills Death itself. Death was trying to bring back Dracula. And so I was just like, I got this. I got two weapons on me. I got the Morningstar whip that my family has had for generations and has made for occasions like this, and a dagger where it basically is going to burn my arm, and if I hold on to it for too long, it's gonna kill me. I use that to kill Death. And the reason why it's also so good is because the fight scene with Death is the most best rated episode at a 9.7 IMDb. That's how you do a series. Now, I'm not saying everything was gone. I was never bored. That's why I binge watched it. I watched barely anything else. For most series, I normally wait and watch as much as I can before looking at edits. I watched about 5 episodes and looked up edits to see what I was going to see. And oh my god, Alucard. The Alucard edits are the best. We don't have much, but they are. And yes, if I am going to just continue rambling about this episode, because it is a 10 out of 10. Every fight scene was always also getting me hooked. I was just never bored. Everything was always so interesting, you know? For anime, sometimes people talk too long, and sometimes you can look away because you don't need to pay attention as much. But for this, how they were always just describing everything and stuff like that, and how they sometimes just weren't serious and had better sarcasm in some shows, it felt good. I basically just spoiled so much of the series, but I would give it a watch. It deserves a much bigger audience than it already has. It's not a weird show. If you love fight scenes, especially specifically, this is for you. And I'm sorry, but the fact that they picked vampires and had the storyline for them was amazing. It was just amazing the way that how the three sisters were going to try and take over the world eventually. They already had plans to basically take control of a huge part of this section that's next to them and basically have a free food chain. But the main villain's sister had a plan to take over the world, and if she didn't die, I think she would have done it. I also have terrible memory for the names. The only reason why I remember Trevor Belmont is because 1, Belmont's a cool name. 2, Trevor's the easiest name out of everybody, other than Dracula and Alucard. The only reason why is because it's Alu and then Card. I had to teach myself that just to remember it. And the fact that Trevor lived is also why it's so good. The way that he was saved, too, I loved how they did that. Everything just made sense eventually, I was never confused, but I was always kept on the edge of my seat. And when I found out stuff, it felt like, oh my god. Like when Trevor and Scytha, I think is her name, were in the small village where the church had an upside down cross and nobody was questioning why the church had an upside down cross. I have no idea. I would be questioning why the cross is upside down. They were shitting also right there next to, here's the cross, here's where they are shitting. And then over here is just a bunch of books. In the basement, they have a monster that is trying to connect to a portal to bring Dracula back to the living to kill all of humanity. Again, thank you for letting me continue rambling on about this show. I do believe that we should add Castlevania into the mix of the JJK and Invincible whole thing, because again, I think that this kind of fighting choreography that this show had is what's missing in almost every main series franchise ever. Like, to be honest, I say that if Kirishima learned hand-to-hand combat, I feel like he would be such a better hero than just some bulldozer. No, get this dude into karate. Like, are we joking here? Get this dude in karate. Anywho, again, thank you for just letting me ramble. This was episode 10 of my YouTube channel. If you're a hater, fuck off. I really don't care. But please, boost my algorithmic view. Call me a weirdo. Call me a weirdo because I think Alucard is super hot. And so is that tank girl. The one who had the day armor. That fight scene, my favorite. Who from the bad guys fighting. That's my favorite. But yeah. This was just me rambling on about Castlevania, because yeah. Dude, this is gonna be a new series I think I'm gonna do. I'm starting to explore some new shows now. And Castlevania was one of them, and I guess this was also just me talking about it. The next series I want to talk about is Vinland Saga. But for that one, instead, I'm going to be doing I'm going to be making a video every couple of episodes that I do, and I'm going to think about it and explain about the show. One of the main reasons why I want to start watching Vinland Saga is because I heard the news of how a Marine said Vinland Saga helped him let go of all the anger that he felt from when he was a Marine and when all his friends were killed. Vinland Saga helped him in so many ways. And so I'm just like, if this can do it, I'm not an anger at anybody that I've already forgiven. I mean, yes, am I angry at some people? Yeah, but it's nothing like, oh, you're just an asshole and I want you to know that kind of way. You know? But again, I've heard so many good things about the show and I've never given it a chance. So I want to give it a chance. If there's any other shows that you would recommend me that I could easily find, please don't go like, oh, you need to go to this website that nobody's ever heard of. Do like Netflix, Hulu, or something like that. Something we're on a mainstream channel or that's on Crunchyroll, because I do have Crunchyroll. But again, thank you for listening to me and babbling on about Castlevania. Stay tuned for the next video. I am the Hall of Fame, and goodbye.